this pandemic. Breaking connections to the world. Empowering language on humanity. Let's bring the world of learning in one channel. Welcome to Visitors Animations English TV.
Hello there, learners! How are you? I hope you are all safe and doing great. I am Teacher Marlene, your English teacher for today. Now, we are in Quarter 2, Week 1 and 2, and our lesson is about visual-verbal relationships. In here, we're going to learn and understand visual elements accompanying text in order to improve comprehension, especially when dealing with informative materials. And our most essential learning competency is explain visual-verbal relationships illustrated in tables, graphs, and information maps found in expository text. Let's have first visual-verbal relationships. Expository texts are designed to explain, inform, and present facts of specific topics. These texts can be accompanied by visual cues to provide or further highlight information. Examples of these visual elements include graphs, tables, maps, illustrations, and the like. Their primary function is to improve comprehension of a reading material. However, understanding graphic elements is an important aspect of comprehending text that some tend to skip. The concept of visual-verbal symbiosis is rooted in the idea that visuals support verbals and vice versa. Dwyer, 1988, found a symbiotic relationship between visual and verbal literacies when the two are combined to facilitate student achievement. Let's have the graphs. These are diagrams showing the relation between variable quantities, typically of two variables, each measured along a pair of axes at right angles. Let's have A, bar graphs. Show numbers that are independent of each other. Example, number of people who prefer Chinese takeaways, Indian takeaways, and fish and chips. B, line graphs show you how numbers have changed over time. It usually has continuous data along a vertical or the y-axis and horizontal or the x-axis dimensions. The y-axis usually shows the value of whatever variable being measured. The x-axis commonly presents when it was measured, either chronologically or based on the other independent variables. Letter C, a pictograph or pictogram. It is a special type of bar graph. Instead of using an axis with numbers, it uses pictures to represent a particular number of items. Letter D, a pie graph or a pie chart. It shows you how a whole is divided into different parts. Example showing how a budget has been spent on different items in a particular year. Let's move on with tables. A table, also known as matrix, refers an orderly arranged quantitative data in columns and rows. 3. We have the maps. A map refers to collection of data showing the spatial arrangement or distribution of something over an area. 4. Captioned graphics. Captioned graphics provide a title, short explanation, or description accompanying an illustration or a photograph. 5. We have the flowcharts. A flowchart shows the sequence of movements or actions of people or things involved in a complex system or activity. Okay, since we already learned our lesson about visual-verbal relationship, let's do Learning Task 1. Choose the letter of the correct answer in each statement. Note, letters only. Okay, let's have number 1. A blank is a diagram that shows the relation between variable quantities, typically of two variables, each measured along a pair of axes at right angles. Is it A, flowchart, B, table, C, graph, or D, map? 2. A blank, also called a matrix, is an orderly arrangement of quantitative data in columns and rows. A, table, B, map, C, graph, or D, flowchart. Number 3. A blank uses pictures to represent a particular number of items. Is it A, graph, B, flowchart, C, diagram, or D, pictogram? 4. A blank shows you how numbers have changed over time. They are used when you have data that are connected and to show trends. Example, average nighttime temperature in each month of the year. Is it A, bar graph, B, pictogram, C, line graph, or D, pie chart? Let's move on with number 5. A blank shows you how a whole is divided into different parts. You might, for example, want to show how a budget had been spent on different items in a particular year. Is it A, pie chart, B, bar graph, C, line graph, or D, flow chart? 6. A blank is a graphical representation of data, quantities, or numbers using bars or strips. It is used to compare and contrast numbers, frequencies, or other measures of distinct categories of data. A, pie chart, B, bar graph, C, line graph, or D, flow chart? Number 7. A blank shows the sequence of movements or actions of people or things involved in a complex system or activity. A, pie chart, B, flow chart, C, line graph, or D, bar graph? Let's have number 8. A blank is a collection of data showing the spatial arrangement or distribution of something over an area. Is it A, table, B, graph, C, flowchart, or D, map? 9. Blank provide a title, short explanation, or a description accompanying an illustration or a photograph. Is it A, maps, B, captioned graphics, C, tables, or D, surface diagrams? Let's have the last number, 10. Blank can show trends and cycles and make the information easier to visualize. Is it A, graphs and charts, B, pictograms and maps, C, surface diagrams and tables, or D, caption graphics and diagrams? Okay, now let's enhance our understanding of the lesson by doing the learning task 3. Match the data samples in column A with their best graphical representations in column B. Okay, let's have the data in column A. 1. Number of books donated represented by a book icon. 2. Trends in Korean pop music preference among teenagers over the years. 3. budget distribution to different offices of an organization. 4. Information collected from students during enrollment like age, gender, address, parents' names, etc. And 5. Geographical representation of your area. Now let's move on with the choices in column B. A. We have the line graph. B. Map. C. Pie chart. D. Table. And for letter E, we have pictograph. Okay, let's do another task, the learning task A. Fill in the blanks with the correct terms. Choose from the word pool. Okay, let's have the words in the word pool. We have comprehension, fact-based, visual verbal, analytical, visual, and thinking. Understanding one blank relationship is a powerful tool to improve two blank of concepts, ideas, and other data presented in an expository text. Knowing how to interpret three blank clues provides opportunity for analysis and critical. Number 4, blank. To sum it up, the use of visual helps in understanding data or information. Without reading much the text, one may easily identify and classify the given information through visual presentation, such as graphs and tables. So that ends our lesson about visual verbal relationships. Class, don't forget to subscribe and like the DCBest MNHS English TV. See you next time as we learn another English lesson. Bye!